Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy, and in my channel I talk about plants and my life and journey with my plants. In today's video I'm going to show you my top 10 favorite Hoya of the month. And before I do that, I'm going to take a little bit of time to do some life update with you guys. And it's something terrible has happened. So if you don't want to listen to that and be brought down, please just skip ahead and just look at the beautiful Hoyas. But I don't know how many of you have noticed my absence in the past little while. I actually just spent the weekend at the ER. I don't really know if it's time for me to talk about this because I'm still processing and still digesting. But I just want to be upfront with you guys so you know where I'm at. And I thought about taking some time off from filming, but for me, I know that when I'm grieving, I need to take breaks. I need something else to preoccupy me. It's not that I don't allow the time to grieve, but if I just allow myself to go on grieving without taking a break from grieving and take some distractions, I get like physically ill, and I need to maintain my life. I need to maintain some sort of balance. I still want to be there for Wolfie and be a good mom. So making video is one of those things I enjoy doing, and it helps me. Anyways, I don't want to go too much into detail, but the last time I was talking to you guys on the camera, I had wanted to share with you guys the good news that we were pregnant. Wolfie has been hoping for a sibling for a really long time, and we finally decided that we would give it a try, and it didn't take us very long. We were very lucky. But a few weeks ago, we just found out that at our first ultrasound that we had lost the baby. There was no more. The baby wasn't growing, and there was no heartbeat. So that's been a really tough thing for us as a family to I don't know, to process and to grieve. And then so they had given me some options on how to proceed with the miscarriage, and I had wanted to wait for it to naturally occur. And then this weekend it took place, and I just ended up bleeding just way too much that I had to go to the emergency room, and they had to give me some medication and take care of me. So I'm still recovering right now. It's a little bit challenging to do my daily things, even just like go up and down the stairs. Like I said, I am still processing it, but I just want to let you guys know what's been going on with me. And for me personally, it's what's most helpful and healing for me is to talk about it and to connect with other people and connect with their stories and receive support. So that's why I feel very comfortable sharing with you guys, and you guys are part of my community. But anyways, I have brought some Hoyas here to show you guys. I have 10 to show you, but I only brought 9 here. There's another one that's in the grow tent that I will bring you in the grow tent to show you guys. All right, so let's just get looking at the Hoyas. The first Hoya, I don't know if I had just shown you guys this one in my top 10 last month, but I definitely had just shown you guys this Hoya in my grow tent update, and that is the Hoya Vitllina. Hoya Vitllina has made the list for me so many times, and it actually is like my top 3 favorite Hoya of all time. It's just, I love the big leaf. I love its beautiful foliage. A while ago, I had kept it somewhere brighter, and it was blushing and had this like pink rim, but now I've been keeping it somewhere a little bit darker, and I'm really enjoying this beautiful dark foliage. that, yeah, all the leaves have faded back to a darker green. I didn't know if that was possible. It was possible for this Hoya. There were some other Hoyas of mine that have been sun stressed, and I've been trying to keep them away from intense light, and the green is just not returning. So I'm not sure if it's just like dependent on the Hoya. Actually, there was a new leaf here, and when I brought it down, I knocked it over and damaged the leaf. And it was such a beautiful leaf too. Yeah, so this is the first one. I love this Hoya. It's been just super easy going. I have had this for 2 years, and I have yet to repot it. Partially because it has always been growing, and I was just like a little bit scared to mess with it. And I think it's still doing okay. I probably won't repot it for at least maybe until next springtime. There you go. That's the first one. The second one, I've actually also talked about this in my the Grow 10 update video. This is my Hoya Finley Sonia. This is one of my first Hoyas that I purchased like cuttings from, and I got it from Hoya Palace like I think maybe 3 years ago, and it was just like an unrooted cutting. It rooted really, really quickly, and it has just been, I don't know, one of my favorites. The venation is just, it almost looks like, if you look at it, it looks like a dark green pond with ripples. Like, you know, one of those documentaries where you're like aerial view of the pond, and then you look down, just the beautiful green and like the beautiful ripples. I know I'm repeating myself. And then this is one of the newest leaves that it's put out. Gorgeous. Wolfie is downstairs watching his cartoon. I am still feeling a little bit weak, and Jordan had to go into work today, and I had told him, like, you know, if anything happens, because I did pass out on Sunday. So I told him, we're really close to our neighbors, and I had told my neighbor that I'll be home alone with him, and if anything happens, he knows to just like go knock on their door. But I feel like, other than just being a little bit weak, I feel okay physically. All right, and then the third one is this one, Hoya Natalie. I don't know if I was aware that it could sun stress. I just kept it in the grow tin in a spot where it's a little bit brighter, and it has been sun stressing really prettily. Yeah, I'm not trying to sun stress my Hoyas anymore. I just gotta find room for the Hoyas, and I also feel like I wonder if sun stressing them will stunt their growth, so I'm not purposely doing it so much. There are a couple on the moss wall that I put for them to be sun stressed, but for most of my Hoyas, I'm just like putting them where I could find room. And that, there you go. So pretty. I love that. You can see the like resemblance of this one and the Vitellina. I just love that like supple oval leaf shape of a Hoya. Yeah, I think that's why, one of the reasons why Hoyas are just so popular. They're just so, the varieties are so vast, and there are just so many different ways, and they express themselves, and they're just all so beautiful. So like we have that big beautiful oval leaves and the venation, and the next two has really stunning splashes. So this one, I actually, did I try to show you guys this one last time? I don't think so. I was telling you guys, like, I have 2 cuttings of Hoya Wilbur graves from Russia, and they have all been, both of them have been just not growing for a year, I think, at least. And the other one has started growing, and as that one was growing, I could see some growth points on this one. And so this is the first newest leaf it's put out, and it's just the perfect, beautiful, splashy leaf. It's still hardening off. It's just so gorgeous. Although you can tell, I like this like smaller, rounder leaves. Those are the original leaves. But the subsequent leaves that it's grown out, like they're longer looking. They kind of look like pubic calyx or the China version of Hoya Wilbur graves. But, you know, I'm not complaining. As long as they're growing, I just think this is such a pretty Hoya. It was my like original unicorn Hoya. All right, and the next splashy leaves Hoya is this. I'm sure I talk about this Hoya so much. This Hoya, it was sold to me as Vitellina, no ID, but I think it has an ID now, but I'm just not super sure, and I haven't bothered to confirm. So let's just still go with what, you know, I got it as a Vitellina, no ID. So that's her. And you can see there's like a couple new leaves growing here and here. And she's so pretty. Not only is she splashy, she also has this like darker rim around the edge. I don't know if you guys remember, but I took a cutting of this Hoya, like this one, and I just stuck it into the medium and into the same pot. And it has since rooted and put out a new leaf. And that's just always makes me so happy, because a lot of times I would use this method of propagating, just like taking cuttings and putting it back in the same pot. And then I would forget to maintain a more moist environment for the new cutting to root. And a lot of times the new cutting would just dry up and die, and I would just kick myself. So I'm really happy that this guy didn't do that. And I think it also goes to show how resilient this one is. I don't think it's doing well because I was on top of watering it. I think it's just because it's a easier going Hoya than others. So pretty. And then the next Hoya I want to show you guys. This is just like my favorite. You know, they're not like, I don't know, they're not like trendy or anything. But the next Hoya is Hoya CBN. This is, again, another Hoya that I love so much for its beautiful venation. And also, I love this Hoya for how easy care it has been. I actually just recently had to chop all of its roots off because it had root rot. And then it has already like re-rooted super well in cocoa husk chips. And then recently it has put out this, one of the cuttings has put out this beautiful new leaf. Yeah, so this Hoya, I kind of feel like when all my Hoyas wouldn't grow, this is a Hoya that I could just look at and be surprised by, like that it's putting out beautiful new leaves. And then the next one I want to share with you guys is a Hoya that Hoya replacement. I had ordered this Hoya before, and then it had come into, it was shipped, when it arrived it was dead. So it was a replacement that was sent to me, but then during shipment the Hoya was damaged again. Do you see there's like a little crack here? It was my friend who received this Hoya for me, my friend Helen, and Helen had just asked me if I would like her to place some glue over the cracked area, and it worked really well. The leaf actually stayed on really, really well. Oh, sorry, this is a Hoya Cornery. And then shortly after, it's been working on these two new leaves. Oh. So I just kind of feel like this guy is a bit of a survivor, and I love the story behind how my friend doctored it up for me, and now it's living a decent life and growing. So like for this Hoya, there's a unique sheen to the leaf and a little bit of splashes. Yeah, so there's some Hoyas that has this beautiful sheen and reflectiveness to their leaves that make them really unique and beautiful. Is that one? All right. And then the next one I want to show you guys is another Hoya that actually I had to reroot. And this one I rerooted in pond. I actually have stopped using pond and switch all of my new Hoyas are planted in cocoa husk chips now. Pond, I just find it to be a little bit messier and it's heavier, and I find in my experience, it seems to me that there's more root meal. I tend to find more root mealybugs in Hoyas living inside a pond. Maybe it's just like a random thing. And the next one I'll show you is a Hoya Leniana. So this guy has been just completely rerooted in pond. It used to be a lot redder, and now I'm keeping it in much lower light setting, but it has been just growing quite well without the higher light. Again, you can see like the leaf shape, it has changed from the original like more oval shapes of leaves, and it's becoming a little bit more like elongated and pointier. For this one, I just really, I love the little speckles on the leaves. And the pretty little Hoya. All right, and the last one I brought here to show you guys, I'm going to show you, and then we'll go into the grow tent to see the 10th Hoya. And I feel like I'm really like running out of energy at this point. All right, so this is my Hoya Australis Lisa. I think the new leaves are so pretty. They remind me of eggs, the shapes that they are. And this is Hoya. I don't know, like for those of you who have followed me for a really long time, this is I don't know how many Australis Lisas I've tried to grow, and I have never been able to get them to grow well. And this one has been growing super slowly, but at least it's like the roots are really strong and healthy, and it's like slowly growing. Yeah, have heard some people just their Australis Lisa just grows like a monster and just like it's so big, it's like a weed. But to me, it will remain like kind of like a precious plant because it's just how difficult it is for me to get it to grow new leaves and for it to actually stay alive. Yeah, I've just lost so many cuttings and yeah, of this Hoya. There you go. And I think it's so beautiful. The variegation is so gorgeous. Yeah, and you know, like when it has new leaves, it's just like red and then pink, and then it turns into this color. All right, so now I'm gonna take you into the grow tent to see the last Hoya. All right, guys. So the last Hoya that I want to share with you guys lives in the grow tent on the moss wall. So like in the grow tent, I have turned the, hold on, let's see, the light to about like 60% or 55% brightness, like not nearly its highest intensity. And the temperature has stayed between about 23 degrees to like, depending on how hot the day is, sometimes it gets up to 30 degrees. But yeah, everything seems to be doing okay in here. But then like the one Hoya that has been doing really well lately is my Hoya Quinquannervia. I actually mounted a lot of Hoyas on the moss wall, but they don't do really well mounted. I can't really manage the watering very well, so I end up just kind of tucking a lot of Hoyas in their like little cups. But the Quinquannervia actually just lives in sphagnum moss, and it is like growing on the moss wall. So we will have to look for it. So like this is the first leaf, and then another leaf here, and then it goes up, and here's another leaf, which is closer to the grow light, so it's really sun stressed, and then another leaf here, and it's grown. Another leaf here. I think there's, okay. So this was one of the newest leaves that it was growing. It was super tiny just a few days ago. But yeah, so this Hoya has been just doing really well on the moss wall, and I'm really happy about it because it's one of the Hoyas that sun stresses but still grows regularly. Another one, I think, that does pretty well is this the Hoya Morillii, but I don't see any new leaves from that one recently. But anyway, so the Quinquannervia is one that I really wanted to highlight today. It's just so beautiful. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's top 10 Hoyas. And I'm sorry if my news has saddened you, put a damper on your day. I'm getting a lot of support. My family and friends are really supportive. They are taking really good care of me. I'm really lucky to have like a community around me that's just really supportive and caring. And Jordan has just been amazing. He has just taken on a lot of like my duties as a wife, you know. He's been making meals, he's been cleaning things up, and just like making sure that I am resting. So every day will be a little bit better. I will have my ups and downs, but I think I'm going to try to continue my video making, at least maybe hopefully once a week. But anyways, that's it from me for now, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.